We are officially on the road to WrestleMania with our next pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber, coming up on Saturday. And here at Faz Wrestling, we have big news regarding that Elimination Chamber. Pete, would you like to share with everybody what our news is for this Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, so since 2011, since 2013 in Germany, it's broadcast as No Escape because they thought Elimination Chamber would remind people of the gas chambers in the Holocaust. That's completely true.
I mean, that's fair, but that's normally the segment at the end of the show when we ask about your final thoughts. And that's normally the kind of stuff that we get.
I thought that was our news.
Oh, no, it's bigger and better than that. Myself and Pete will officially be doing a live reaction towards this Saturday's Elimination Chamber. We will be getting up bright and early for a start time of 10 a.m. So I'm assuming we'll go live before that. And we will be reacting live to this weekend's pay-per-view, which I don't know about you, but I am very excited for.
I'm also excited for it.
Yep. Can't wait. Should be good. So therefore...
It's going to be really weird meeting you in person for the first time.
Sure. Yeah, we've only known each other for what? God, how long have we known each other? Since secondary. So what's that, like 20 years?
Fuck off.
You go secondary school when you're like 11, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
We've known each other for 20 years.
Yeah.
How good is that, mate?
Yep.
I would have liked a bit more enthusiasm there, but here we are.
Each year's been better than the last. It really has.
That's good. That's good. It's a steady progression then. I'm all right with that.
Not so much in my life, but our relationship, yeah, totally.
Fantastic. I'll take that. We're nearly there. I'll take that 10%. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. So, yes, we will be reviewing Elimination Chamber live on Saturday morning. We will be releasing a Elimination Chamber prediction show. So, obviously, that will come later on. But today, we are here to review Monday Night Raw, which took place on Monday, the 19th of February, 2024. It was live from Anaheim, California. Pete is currently adjusting his blinds. But as I say on every single show that we have, there is myself and we have my wonderful co-host, which is Pete. Peter, how are you doing today?
It's like a hot box in here. I was getting a bit warm, so I had to open a window and I opened up the wrong one, so they both opened and nearly fell out. But I'm good.
Apart from that,
I'm great.
Yes, good, because we are a little bit later than usual because Pete's not been feeling too well the past couple of days. So I am glad to hear that you are feeling much better, my friend.
10 times better.
Yes, and I thought the Raw was a really, really good episode of Raw. I think it had just about everything in there that you like. It had storyline progression. It had solid matches. I thought every match was pretty solid and on top. What about yourself? What did you think of Raw?
As a
whole,
I have my favourites. There's certain matches in there. We'll get to it as we progress. Because it's like you constantly going about Gunther. I feel like my Gunther has now become Ivar.
Okay. I like that.
Don't want to talk about that too much yet. We'll wait until it naturally progresses into that.
Fantastic. So I'm going to give you the choice, my friend, this week. Where would you like us to start this review? What part of the show would you like to begin on? And we will start from there.
Let's do something that we usually do the opposite. We usually start from the end, which is the best. Let's start from the start.
Let's start from the beginning and work our way through. Yeah, absolutely fine by me, my friend. I like that. We normally have a big talking point, and that's where we'll spend most of our time on there. But I'm more than happy to run through. I thought, you know what, if there's anything that stood out for you, then we could open with that and have a good discussion. But yeah, so fantastic. So Monday Night Raw was opened up by the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. His music hits. He comes out. I thought, Drew's going to cut another standard promo, all that kind of stuff. Nah, Cody Rhodes' music's hit. Fucking brilliant. We're just having Drew and Cody to open the show. That's always going to be a banging way to start. When you've got a match of that caliber opening the show, you know you're in for a good night. Sorry, I felt like I cut you off. I could see you kind of go. Oh, no. So I thought you had an input there, so I didn't want to cut you off.
No, because I would have thought that would be the close. But yeah, I don't know. It was just an excellent start.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, it's great because I'm literally referring back to my notes here. And I don't really have many notes for this match, which should not be taken as a negative because I was so into this match that I just wasn't jotting notes down. I was hooked. I thought this was an absolute 10 out of 10 match. I was really, really invested in this. I loved how the pendulum swung both ways. It was all Drew, then all Cody. And it was, you felt like Cody had to win for his momentum. But then you was like, you can't kill Drew off. So I was constantly at it with, I didn't really know where it was going.
Did you not think? I knew they were coming into it. I knew the bloodline were coming into it.
Yeah.
It's like one more fuck you before the before Elimination Chamber. I thought it was cracking.
Yeah, that was it. Like I don't know. I think I have to tip my hat to WWE there because, like I said, I was that normally I can watch a match and I'm not into it because I go, I know where this is going. I know where this is going, and I'm not really there. This, I was proper into it. Like I was a big fan of this match. So it never even popped into my head. I was just enjoying what was going on in front of me.
It's killing Cody's momentum, but they've done it by him getting screwed. So it's not really killed anything, and obviously
protecting him, isn't it?
Yeah. No one's there to really screw Drew over because Sammy's not going to come out because, bless Sammy, he's
Sammy. I mean, we'll absolutely be getting into Sami Zayn later on, to be fair, because he has a very interesting part in this Raw. Yep. But yeah, I just put excellent match as you'd expect. Again, when you've got two of the top guys in, going one-on-one, you're not going to get better. You're not going to get worse than excellent, really, are you?
No.
So again, I can't even remember the main spots. I just was absolutely in it.
The brilliant Cody cutter that he nailed, and Drew went head down. It was just brilliant.
Was it top rope? Did he literally go up to the top rope to do it?
Cody cutter,
yeah. Oh, honestly, it was just a brilliant. I don't know. I've already said it about 5 times. Really, really good match. Yeah. It was concluded by Jey Uso coming to the ring. So he was walking down the ramp, and that distracted Cody. I think he jumped up on the ropes, and then Cody kind of went towards him. He jumped down, and then you had a mysterious hooded figure with a hat. Who could this have been? And funnily enough, they had some tape on their thumb. I wonder who this could be.
Well, Jimmy's there. Jey likes Cody now, so there's no one. Oh no, there's a third brother. So it probably, no.
If you smell! No, it was Cody kind of goes against the ropes. Solo and Solo Sikoa appears, gives him a Samoan spike, to which Drew took advantage of, hit the Claymore, and Drew wins. Go on, mate.
As he had him in a what do you call it? Not the Cody cutter. He's special. The Cody roly-poly, I call it.
The Cody... the Crossroads.
The Crossroads.
I am forever going to call that the Cody roly-poly. Because it just rolls off the tongue.
He had been a Cody roly-poly. It's hard to say.
Cody Rody.
Cody roly-poly.
Cody roly-poly.
I've excelled. Just turn it off. I'm done for the night.
He's just really took a Cody roly-poly. That's going to stick with me. Brilliant.
Even with Jimmy's intervention, you're like, oh, he's still going to get the win. And then obviously, Samoan Spike. And then I liked what it did for the story because, like, Drew constantly goes on about getting screwed and winning the honourable way and always winning the honourable way. And that's how they're just pushing him more heel now. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I also enjoyed, because they do touch upon this later on in the show. I really enjoyed the fact that you didn't quite see it in the match. So I am going to kind of fast forward a little bit to the segment where you look at Drew's facial recognition of, like, how he's reacting to all of it. So he sees Solo hit him, and you see in Drew's face, he starts staring out Solo, because Solo specifically was the one that screwed him over at Clash at the Castle. And obviously, all Drew has said is, I'm going to get the bloodline back. I'm going to get the bloodline back. They screwed me over, blah, blah, blah. Yet he's took advantage of their intervention. Yeah. And I liked how he was staring Solo out, and you kind of saw him just shake his head off and be like, no, focus, like, get on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is beating Cody right now. So you could see that he was toying with the prospect of going after him. Then he's like, no, I need to win this match. I'm going to win this match. Shakes it off, hits his Claymore, and then pins Cody. So I liked that aspect of it. Obviously, like I said, they do come into that later on, but obviously we can touch upon that as we arrive to it. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a nice again, I like the little details that have a purpose. You know, when there's a reason and it adds to it, absolutely bang on. So again, really, really enjoyed that. Anything else you want to add to that? Or are you quite happy with that?
It was literally, like you said, it was a 10 out of 10 match. It was really, really good. It was just entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and I think that helps, because we'll mention this as well, with, like I said at the start, of dictating the night, because you know you've got a banger like that, it just picks up the whole show.
If you're not ending it with two of the main people in wrestling right now, and people of their caliber as well, like you said, who could just provide such a mint show, then you know you've got something better on the cards later, or what they at least perceive is better.
Yeah,
so
100%. And I think it kind of followed on, because the crowd were shit hot all night long. Yeah. Like they were just in it. Like, you can have it when the crowd gets exhausted, you know, when you give them too much and then it gets certain parts of it and they're like, man, we don't care. These guys, they were really, really, really good crowd. And it adds to every single match, because there's one match in particular where it really added to it, where if you had a dead crowd, it wouldn't. But we will come to that as and when, because you'll be happy about this, because this is involving your new guy. So, it's great. But yeah, after that, we then kind of went to Andrade, had a nice little video package. Again, just reminding us about him, reminding us of what his character's going to be. They don't have plans for him. Just keep him fresh in your mind. I'm all right with that.
I don't know. Should he be used sooner rather than later? Because it was a good video package, but he's just had one.
Yeah. It's just what they do to keep him fresh in your mind. So if they had no plans for him, they wouldn't even be bothering with a video package. So there will be something. I do think, like I said, it's just due to us coming up to WrestleMania season and there's nothing for him. Unless they introduce something, a multi-man match of sorts. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what. Unless, if they have that fucking stupid, what is it, Battle Royal that they have as like the kickoff show, they'll throw in random people there. Again, I wouldn't be opposed to him winning that. Kind of put, stamping his authority in there, and then you push on after that. I would settle for that. But I do like that, just giving you little reminders of who he is. Doesn't need to be every single week. Like you said, they've had 2 weeks back to back now. So unless they're going to integrate him into the actual roster, brilliant. Yeah, I hope not. But unless they're going to do something with him, just keep them little gentle things. That's absolutely fine. We then had another backstage segment with Cody Rhodes in like the medical room. So obviously he's just going, my throat. Like it did really tickle me of just being like his celibate of him just going. It's like, come on, son. Like, you've had a thumb to the neck. Like, I don't think it's that bad 10 minutes later. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it was like when Cena came out with the voice after he got Samoan spiked, and he changed his entire voice. Like, that wasn't a cold.
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was poorly, to be honest, and it just worked. It just added to the segment, you know what I mean? But there was, again, this was really basic, nothing special, but again, I thought it was really, really effective. So it was Cody sat there selling that. You then had Adam Pearce, who's like, are you all right? Is there anything you need? Blah, blah. He's like, no, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. And Seth Rollins just walks in, just gives him a look, a little pat on the leg, and walks off. Just to kind of say, well, I told you so. You need a plan. You can't, they're going to you need to have some, you know what I mean? It was just so effective. Not a single word was spoke, and yet you knew exactly what that meant. And I thought it was great.
Go back, and who had a segment just like that when Damian Priest lost? Not Damian Priest. When I've forgotten all the wrestlers tonight. When Scottish, well, that we just talked about.
Drew McIntyre
just went. The name just went when Drew McIntyre lost, and Mammy came out and looked at him.
Yeah.
And it was just the exact same, but now it's turned over and it's on. Yeah.
It is. Sometimes you don't need a 10, 15, 20-minute promo in the ring to really drive home a point. They did that last week in that super segment, last week or the week before, whenever it was. Yeah. But again, just that tiny little thing just made you think, and made Cody think, was like, shit, yeah, I need to have some sort of plan, have some sort of backup, etc., etc. Really effective. Really enjoyed that. We then had the Women's Royal Rumble to determine the last place in the Elimination Chamber. I thought this was okay. It did what it needed to do, really, didn't it?
with how you respond to the women's matches on this podcast.
No, I disagree with that because there are some good quality women's wrestling. The only problem is they're not giving us the good. I mean, Elimination Chamber match of Jax and Rhea is gonna be a great match. That will be good, and that will be boosted significantly by the audience. So there is chance of that. You've then got.
I don't think it will be that good of a match because I don't think Nia Jax has ever had a good match in her life.
I don't, but I think no. I think she's had the odd banger, but I just feel like this is a make or break for Nia.
Bang you.
And then I'm going to squash you.
God, I hate her so
Again,
much.
we will come back to this very, very soon.
Oh.
Very soon indeed. But we had the Rumble. The final four was Mia Yim, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Why is Zoe Stark in it when she already holds the title?
Ah, God, yeah. It's a good point. I mean, unfortunately, she can't compete for the put Becky on the shelf title at WrestleMania.
She's got no personality.
Yeah.
She's just boring. Like, I liked Shayna Baszler when she was with Ronda Rousey, and now they've just tried to push Zoe Stark in to make you forget about Ronda Rousey ever being there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the no.
The no. Nana. No, I think yeah, they're trying something. I think it's a good fit. I don't know who else Zoe Stark pairs with. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a good fit. And they're kind of like... Fuck off. Yeah. Just about to kind of like... well, no, I suppose not. But I think Crash Holly would have probably... Yeah, I'm not even going to delve into that one, to be quite honest with you. Because we will absolutely be going on a very bad tangent. But let's just say Crash Holly's a dick. But... yeah, no, I think they're a good pairing. I think for what they are, I think Shayna deserves better, but Shayna's on the other side of that hill now. I think age and all that.
Once it came down to those last four, and once Mia Chin went out, Mia Chin, my Chin. That's what it means. I googled it. And once they went out, and it was Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, who's already had a shot, and it was awful, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing that again." And it was Raquel Rodriguez. You're like, "Well, it's gonna be Raquel." Like,
yeah. I think it was like one of those where when I first looked at it all, I was like, "Oh, I'm not too sure who this could be." I was kind of hoping Baszler. We did speak about Jay Cargill potentially getting involved. As soon as she wasn't, I was like, "Right, okay, fairs." Like, okay, because obviously. I heard this on another podcast, so I'm going to pinch it for this one, where they kind of must have second-guessed it because, obviously, in order to win the Elimination Chamber, well, to be eliminated, you have to be pinned.
Yeah.
So, therefore, she'd have had to take a pin because she weren't winning. So, it was like, don't put her in. There's no point putting her in because we don't want her to eat a pin yet. Fair enough. If that's what it is, which I think is a very reasonable argument to make, fair enough. And then you kind of had... Raquel's music hit, and I went, that's who's going in. You can kind of dictate it from the beginning, can't you? There was a Chelsea Green. I was like, please have Chelsea Green in there because that would be fantastic as well. Like, you can imagine Chelsea Green just ducking and diving every single part of confrontation in that Elimination Chamber, and I'd be there for it. Like, I'd have absolute time for it. So I think it was between Chelsea. In fact, no, I'll tell a lie. I'd say it was like 80% Raquel. 20% Chelsea Green, who I thought was going to win.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you started getting lower and lower, I was like, yeah, it's going to be Raquel. And then obviously, it concluded. I think she eliminated Baszler first, and then she went to eliminate Stark, and Shayna Baszler saved her once, maybe twice, and then she got eliminated. Yeah, I can't remember how many times it was. But
I think to get her off, she did a super kick, and then she landed on Baszler.
Yeah, that sounds about right, that. And then it was the fact of Raquel Wood, she celebrated, her music weren't playing. I was like, well, there's something else happening here. And in slides Chelsea Green from behind. I'm like, no. And then literally, I was like, if this happens, that is priceless. And then obviously Raquel just sit a bit, eliminated her, and she's in Elimination Chamber. Again, like I said, I'm all right with that. I'm not Raquel's biggest fan. But I feel like saving that for the Elimination Chamber prediction rather than going on a tangent now about Raquel.
Where did Chelsea go? Was she just doing a handstand by the side of the ring, or is she just?
I think she kind of went under the ring. So I think she went under the rope at one point, and she just kind of hid for a while, which is not uncommon. Quite a lot of heels do that.
Like
of just hiding.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, fair enough. Raquel wins. She's in Elimination Chamber. All right. We then had a nice little backstage promo from Jey Uso, from Main Event Jey Uso. I liked it. Again, it was effective of him just kind of going through things and, you know, the standard stuff of I'm going to be the Intercontinental Champion. I'm going to win my first singles title. Yada, 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 yada. Fairs. I think obviously it was delivered a lot better than that. But
there was a lot less yada yadas in there as well, I think.
Yeah, a lot of yeets.
I will say this, mainly as a white man, there's two things that I can't do properly. Well, there's many things I can't do properly. But two major things that stand out to me that get in the way of my life and what I watch and stuff like that. I can't dance. I have no rhythm. I'd love to be able to dance, but I just can't. And I also can't say the word yeet. Without seeming like it yeet. It doesn't yeet. Yeet, my friend.
Yeet. Do you want to go for some ice cream? Yeet. Yay. Yeah, I get it. I like it as a catchphrase. Yeah. I like it when he delivers a promo and instead of the what chants, they do the yeet chants.
Yeah.
Love that. Like all that side of it. Or when he's in a match and you know you're doing the back and forth. Yeah. And she's like, boo, yay, boo. It's just like yeet, boo, and so and I love that because it's just adding to his character and giving him that bit more like uniqueness. Do you know what I mean? Like just making him stand out that bit more of having that sort of stuff. Obviously similar with LA Knight with his they do the same thing. Love that. Yeah. But yeah, Jey again looked solid in that promo. I think he definitely slots in as a main event talent. Like I don't think he's tippity top, but he's definitely on like the lower status of main event.
Well, we're going to cover this, aren't we, at the end and the last match?
Yeah, 100%.
Still feeling.
We then get to, I would probably say this was one of my low points of this Raw, where we had Rhea and Nia Jax backstage on their little interview when you've got a camera on the pair of them in different rooms. Like, I get it's a variety, it's something a bit different. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I just find it very uncomfortable.
It is, but to be fair, it was probably one of the best. But obviously, she was reading from a script, so that's probably why it worked for her. But it was probably Rhea Ripley I've heard sound the best because usually she's not that great. I mean, she had that moment with Randy Orton, which was awesome, but it's just because Orton made it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just you can carry on now because you can talk about that.
Yeah, Rhea's a weird one because like. She was cutting promos solid for months and months and months. And I've picked up on this recently that she's getting, I think I say in the past month or two, she's kind of stumbling over her own words and she's not delivering it as well as she has. So I don't know what it is, but there's just something. She's still good, but she's just not as good as she was. She's just making like rookie mistakes.
Didn't you have a wackadoo theory that it's because she's making these mistakes on purpose to make Damian Priest seem more like the boss of Judgment Day?
Don't think so, but I also wouldn't put it past myself to make some sort of suggestion like that. I wouldn't eliminate that either. It's always a possibility. But yeah, it's because obviously they're kind of, well, they've cooled down on that as well, which I'm all right with. It's like Judgment Day doing their thing, Rhea's doing her thing, and like rather than having Judgment Day be like, oh, I'm the leader. No, I'm the leader. Like, I'm the leader. No, I'm the leader, mate. Like, no, we don't need that. Just let them handle their own business, which they are doing. Absolutely fine. We then, the interview was, again, like you said, I think it was good from Rhea. It was pretty solid from her, from what she kind of had to say, where I did kind of enjoy it, which kind of is like backtracking. So like came into WWE and they kind of wanted me to be this character. Like, I don't know if you've seen Rhea Ripley before. She was like kind of more like gothic.
Well weird.
Mate, it's so weird. She's quite literally like the blonde hair, the smiley face, that, you know, like your standard thing that they probably would put divas through. You know what I mean? Of you've got to look like this. That's what you have. That's the image that we have.
Yeah, and very, very odd side by side.
It's crazy. Like you look and like I'm like, I barely recognize her. I'm like, that's not Rhea Ripley. Then you're like, no shit, it actually is.
Yeah.
And she kind of delves into that and basically says that she turned around and said, no, that's not me. That's not who I am. Start being myself. That's where she's unlocked this character. And this character is a million times better than what that one would have been by a country mile. So she kind of delves into all of that. And she says, like, because she's become herself, like, that makes her the best. She is the best. And this brings the best side of her out. The whole time she's saying this, you've got Nia Jax, who's just rolling her eyes the whole time and doing little head wiggles and all this. And I don't know. That sort of stuff. I don't particularly like it. I don't think it's that effective. We then kind of went to Nia.
Got no character. It's just awful.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I also picked this up. I say pick this up as if this hasn't been the case for Nia Jax for as long as she's been around. Where her promos, as well as that hilarious voice that I do love, I'd be lying if I said I don't love it. See, everyone, I know it is hateable, but through this podcast, I've made myself love that accent. So whenever she talks, I just find myself watching it going, like, that's it. And that is just because we do this and talk about it and analyze it. I find it that bit more funny.
No way, bitch. It's just what? That's why. Can we just really quickly jump onto this, because I don't want to spend a long time on it. And when they had all the female wrestlers in the ring for an Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I have got that down. If you want to.
Yeah, no, but I just want to get rid of it, get it out of the way, because that bit no longer works anymore. When you've got 5 women in the ring calling each other bitches. And it's just like that's a Divas era thing. That is let Rhea do a thing. Let the man's meant for it. Becky Lynch is cut an awesome promo, which is weird because she's tiny, and you think,
yeah,
you're probably not. I mean, you're stronger than me, but I mean, when it comes to like when you look at Raquel Rodriguez, you look at Rhea Ripley, the size of them, they're stacked.
Yeah, and again, the difference for that is character, because Becky's character is so good, and the way that she delivers promos is so good, despite the fact that she ain't the biggest by any stretch of the imagination. Yet she's still one of the best. Like, she can go. But yeah, jump into that segment. Bizarrely, I've got quite a few things down on this, which is rather interesting. I mean, when I say I've got quite a few things down, it's nothing of real significance. Because I agree, I'm not a fan of that stuff because, like you said, that's old school stuff. That, like, you know what I mean? And then Becky kind of comes out and she's like, "Oh, I've got nothing. There's nothing new about me. Or there's not anything new that, like, I've got to achieve because I've achieved everything because I'm great. I've got this new hat though. Cool." And then every person that comes out who's just like I think Liv Morgan comes out, she's like, "First of all, nice hat, Becky." And you got Naomi, who's just like, "I love your hat, girl." And I'm just like, why are we all talking about Becky's hat? Like, this proves how pointless this segment is. That half of the people are on about a fucking hat. Like, do you know what I mean? It just wasn't effective. But yeah, Becky then says not many new things for her, obviously, because the Elimination Chamber is the only thing that she hasn't won. I think she's literally won everything else.
Zoe Stark's in the back going, "Oh my god, I've done all this too."
Yeah, but she's just talking to a wall because there's nothing else for interesting to talk to.
Shayna Baszler's chair next to her, just let her do her thing.
Shayna Baszler's still shuffling her cards. That's all Shayna Baszler does. She has a deck of cards now because she can just get the ace of spades out because she's the queen of spades. Cool. But yeah, Becky then starts talking about her and Rhea. Becky saying that she's the best that she's ever been, but she's saying, unfortunately, everybody else is also the best they've ever been. She kind of does a bit of plugging, promoting everybody else. That I'm all right with. Rather than putting everyone down and burying them or whatever, she's kind of making everyone else seem relevant.
You love it when a face does that, though. You love it when a face bigs up the opposition rather than slagging them off.
Absolutely. It makes the match more interesting. Like, I think instantly, if you've got someone that's putting them over and it's basically saying they're worthy of fighting me, like they're worthy of actually having a match and they might have a chance of doing something. Like, again, it's why I hated John Cena for years, because John Cena, still hate John Cena, but that's all he ever used to do. He would just bury everybody near him. So instantly, because he was just so arsed about himself, he just wanted to make sure that he was up here and no one else was. So he just buried everybody else. He didn't care. Right. And then he'd have a match and then he'd do his fucking 5 moves and win. And that was Cena for years. Like,
see,
he did nothing for the company.
I hated Cena in the late noughties, and then But when he became like adjacent from the Authority, that's what I liked. When it was him and Triple H butting heads, or when he was sticking up for CM Punk after the pipe bomb, stuff like that. Yeah. I really like that. I thought that was a good side of it. And then I'm obviously more into films, and I know you don't like it because it's just Cena and everything, but he is a good quality actor, man. He really is.
From what I've seen him in, he just plays the same character in everything, just this big
goof. Character.
I don't get me wrong, I've watched films with Cena in, and I'm all right with him, but I wouldn't go as far to say as he's a good actor. That's just me. Maybe my judgment is clouded.
Yeah, you know what?
Here we are.
Aaron, fucking mastermind of Faz Wrestling. That is just you. It's just you, that.
Right? And I don't care. I'll stand by it forever. Cena sucks. But yeah, don't know how we've managed to tangent onto Cena, if I'm honest with you. Putting people over, because Becky was putting people over. There we go. We're back on track. So yeah, she puts over the others, puts over Elimination Chamber. Liv Morgan comes out. I actually enjoyed Liv Morgan's promo. I think we touched upon it on one of our reviews with Liv Morgan, that she actually has a goal, an aim, a purpose. She's got something that's giving her a reason to be involved in this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the good shit, man. But yeah, like obviously with Rhea putting her on the shelf, she kind of then delves into this again when it's her and Becky, where she's like, "Listen, like I've got a hell of a lot more to prove. I've got a lot more that I want to get revenge on here. Like that's my incentive for this match. Like I want to get to Rhea because I want to." End her because she took 6 months out of my career. Notice how it changed from 12 months to 6 months. Because I remember that being said to me and you going, I can't believe that's been 12 months. There's no way that's been 12 months.
Yeah.
It hasn't. It was half of that. So here we are.
It was the weed charge. That was the other 6 months.
Literally, this is it. So I got put on the show for this amount of time and I was high for this amount of time.
So altogether, 12 months.
But yeah, I think that was like the last good promo. And then after that, I thought, please end it there. Please end it there. And then Raquel's music hit. And I went, I know where we're going here. Everyone's going to come out and say a sentence. Then they're going to fight. And that's the end. I was like, what a shame. I thought we could have had just a nice little back and forth promo there and end it there. No, because that's what they have to do. Don't know why. Please change that. But Raquel comes out, says, Nia could win, but I'm the biggest, so I'll beat her. Okay, Raquel. Naomi comes out.
As always, girlfriend.
Literally. Raquel, Naomi comes out and says that, nice hat, Becky. And then says about how she was at the top of the mountain here. She then left. She then came back. She wants to get back to the top. Oh, no, Tiffany Stratton's music hits. And she just comes out and she's just like, you're all part of the past and the future. Like, no one cares about you. Like, go away. You got nothing to do with it.
Really quickly for the third week in a row, maybe second week in a row. Great hair, Naomi. Just the right on the hair. It's just, I love it. I proper dig that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for that, to be fair. It is mightily impressive. But yeah, Tiffany Base says the future is Tiff. Ignore the past. Bianca comes out and she kind of just puts down Tiffany Stratton instantly. So says that, and then she says, I've won Elimination Chamber last year, so I'm going to win it again. I'm going to be a 2-time Elimination Chamber winner. And I'm going to go face Rhea, and I'm going to main event WrestleMania again, because you can't spell WrestleMania without EST. Fairs, I like that little catchphrase, though. It works, and I'm all right with it. Absolutely fine.
But she can't be doing. You can't spell SummerSlam without. Oh.
You can't spell SummerSlam without me.
If she uses that, trademark that right now. TM. TM here at Bad Wrestling.
This is it. I'm sure The Rock will have my back since he's an avid watcher and listener of this. So, love it. But yeah, again, the segment, okay. I'd love it if they found some sort of way, or even if they did like little individual video packages and they kind of like have a little promo.
Yeah,
I'd settle for that. But that whole everyone in the ring saying something, someone's music hits. Yeah, I agree. It's just not really. It's not my cup of tea. It's not your cup of tea from the sounds of it either. No. So yeah, try and freshen it up a little bit would be grand. But yeah, going back to Rhea and Nia with their little interview. Yeah, Nia essentially. My notes. I'll tell you, my notes are very interesting here because I forgot about writing this down. So I put, Nia says she will squash her again. Shock, because Nia says that all the time. And then says, I'm going to make mommy cry to her mommy. Like, the delivery of a promo is so bad. And it's like, just flow with it. But she just stops at weird times. Like, just
even she forgets, which is bizarre, because if she forgets, she's got a script in front of her in those blackout promos. You definitely have a script.
100%.
But it's almost like she's waiting, because she knows it's being played to the crowd. She thinks each pause is going to get a pop where mommy, woo, cries, woo, to her, woo, come on.
Yeah.
Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
I know. Who do you think you are? Dominic Mysterio? You can't get booed at.
I don't know why they hired her back. I really don't.
I disagree. I do like what she's doing. And I think this match between her and Rhea is going to make or break Nia Jax. I think if she delivers and is a good match, then I'm all right with it. They built her up. I don't think she's going to be the champion anytime soon, but they're making her a credible threat, and it's someone fresh in the women's division where I think we needed someone fresh to be higher up than the majority. Like, you ain't pushing Mia Yim to that position, are you? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's too many there that they've got too much work to do.
Fresh,
to push him up.
But I'm no Fresh Prince.
I'm a fresh princess. However, my last note, so I think Rhea responded to this. I didn't pay attention to anything that she said because I think Rhea Ripley's got a lazy eye. And I could not stop looking at it, right? And you go back and watch this, right? And she's doing it, and because she's looking right at hard cam, it's like one eye's there and the other eye's down. I went, she's got a lazy eye, she got a lazy. And I'm watching it like this to try and think, is it me? Am I looking at this funny? Or and I was like, I'm sure she's got a lazy eye. But this is it. Like, because she has all like the makeup and stuff, you probably can't see it normally. But you're going to look out for that now. You're going to look out for that.
Research. They're going to look out for it. I'm going to Google it right now.
I want answers, damn it.
I am the research department of Faz Wrestling.
That's fine. I'm all right with that.
Rhea Ripley, lazy eye. Just pictures, wait. No. So the first people also ask, why did Rhea Ripley change her appearance? Second down, what happened to Rhea Ripley's ears?
Not address that. What has happened to Rhea Ripley's ears?
She suffered multiple contusions and abrasions on both ears after having 5 earrings ripped off during the match.
Oh.
Doctors had to remove pieces of her skin from her ear to make her ear look normal again. Okay? The more you know. But no lazy eye, apparently.
Right, well, keep your eye out for it, mate. Hey? Because I think she does. So and I couldn't unsee it after that.
Bit of blue there, bit of blue for dads.
But yeah, then we kind of went from there to probably one of my favourite segments on the night, and that was R-Truth with Jackie Redmond in a nice little episode of Truth Line.
Oh, I love it.
I just want to, before I go into it, I just want to kind of make the point of when it was SmackDown, and I said R-Truth, when he thinks that Kevin Owens is Miz, is stupid. I don't like it. This is what I do like. This is where R-Truth is good and effective. It's just a nonsense thing that he makes gold.
He can put a video package together. I know it's probably them, but I like to think that it's him at home on his computer doing this. So, like when he was putting his face over JD McDonough, or no, putting his face next to them. His video packages, I've rewatched it about 6-7 times, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, 100%. I loved it. I just literally, I mean, my notes for this was Truth Line dash. Oh yes, dash fucking brilliant. that was that segment. I mean, even when it has them all as babies, yet they still have all the definitive features, but just as babies. It's something as basic as that just has me. Again, I know I've said it in the past. If you show this to a friend who doesn't follow wrestling, they're like, what the fuck is this? Whereas if you do, it's absolutely hilarious. That is where comedic value works, because it was just great. And even just like when he's just doing a little slow walk and Jackie Redmond's talking to him and stuff like this, and he's just got the big fucking raincoat thing over him and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to add to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know you wanted to pop anything in there.
If
then
you
kind of went...
go. Listen to this podcast, and if you don't find... I don't understand people who don't find it funny. Like, I know you don't find it funny in certain bits, but you said that was brilliant. So if you listen to this, rather than us explain what happened in it, just go rewatch it. Just watch it.
Yeah, it's worth that watch. It
Any
really is.
Package is, especially a video package, is just brilliant.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Yep. So there's your bit of homework, guys. If you've not seen it already, go and watch it because it is fucking worth it. We then had a little bit where, again, I've just kind of jotted this down because I really, really liked it. There was a certain bit of camera work that they did. So I think it was after the R-Truth interview. It was then someone who was just walking, like, you know, like where all the stalls are and stuff in the arena and like the car park with a camera, kind of was just going around there. And then he kind of went through, obviously, one of the entrances and then obviously to the top of the steps and then just panned on the crowd. Because I think it said it was something like over 11,000 were in there. And it was just really, really nice work of just, you know, because it's normal plug when you've got like the commentators kind of saying like, you know, on Raw is in Anaheim, in a sold out Anaheim arena and blah, blah, blah. And then you just kind of had that, the camera coming through and panning out on everyone. And you could see it was absolutely fucking packed. Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to just drop that in there. That I really like that. Again, a really, really small touch, but I've got a lot of time for it. I thought it was really effective. We then went to another, again, it was just one of those Raws tonight. Well, I thought it was really good, but there was just little snippets of fucking random things thrown in there, and I'm going to cover them all now. So we then had UFC fighter Michael Chandler in the stands.
I love
and it was like, it was just his UFC star, Michael Chandler. I don't know what he'd had before that.
Oh, he's
probably cocaine. Because after he was just going, right, guys, so what we're going to do? And he was just shouting everything. I'm like, this guy is on another level.
Can I just tell you my favourite Michael Chandler bit? He talks about knowing I can't remember the name, not twins, brothers who were both Brazilian UFC fighters. And he tells a story where he goes, I was here when they first came to Vegas, and no word of a lie. They're walking down the street, and this bus pulls up, and one of the brother pulls a carrot out and tries to feed it. He goes, no word of a lie. They thought he was a dog. The other one starts petting the bus. They thought it was a donkey. And I think he's going, no, the guy who's talking goes, I don't think he goes, no, you don't believe me? That is 100% true. It's like
madness, absolute fucking madness.
I love Michael Chandler. He was the best heel they ever had in UFC by a million miles.
Yeah, I just can't get over his ears. His ears are awful to look at. Yeah, but I mean, that is just standard. It's like rugby players as well, innit? Who have fucking just swollen out ears.
Listen, what's it called? Broccoli ears.
Yeah, fucking hell, aye.
I nearly called it
large broccoli.
I don't know what that's about.
But yeah, the purpose of Michael Chandler's very screamy promo was to call out Conor McGregor, as I believe he has done for the past however many months. Yeah. So it's been an ongoing thing. But yeah, calls him out. And that was that. I kind of just put WTF after that. I was like, that was very random. Until we then kind of started panning through the rest of the night. That's what I mean by covering them all.
We then had... Really quickly, it's not... I know exactly. I thought I didn't see him on Thingy. It wasn't Michael Chandler who told that story. It was the other one. 1 second. 1 second. It was. Oh, yes, kind. Elevator music. Can't believe I forgot it. I'm terrible with names tonight.
Intermission.
Do you know what? I can't remember.
Intermission.
He's everywhere. He fought John Jones. I can't remember his name, but
I don't follow UFC, so I am utterly useless in this.
No, don't worry about it. But it wasn't Michael Chandler. But that was a true story told by a UFC, told by X. But it's still a great story.
Yeah. So I'm going to list the other things that just kind of got randomly dropped in at random parts of tonight's Raw. We then had the producers of Netflix, who were behind the commentary team, who were just having a nice chair, having a good time, having a beer. Fairs. We then had an Irish boxer there, who kind of awkwardly stood doing his little at the camera, We then had a bull rider, a professional champion bull rider, who was just there with his standard cowboy hat. Just, hey, how's it going? So I'm watching all this, and I was like, I don't get it. What's going on? Why are they doing this? Until I then listened to the standard promo, the podcast that I listened to, shout out Wrestle Talk, that they kind of then said, obviously, it's all the TKO stuff. So all the things that TKO are involved with and all their, relationships, sponsors, whatever. I was like, so it is. Don't do this every week, because I didn't enjoy it, but I understand for promoting whatever, it makes sense. But my God, was it random.
I had zero idea that TKO were in the bull riding business, but now they are. Love to see that crossover with The Rock.
Yeah, with a Brahma bull. Ride this, you stupid fatty. But yeah, they kind of they happened. We then had Chad Gable and Ivar both cutting individual promos backstage. I thought both were great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them both. Again, Gable, where it's kind of like I've stepped aside. You've gone through like the proteges or whatever, but now you've got like the main guy, and I'm going to win. I'm going to get my momentum back, etc., etc. Ivar, similar thing. I think he was like, I'm on like a warpath. I've run through everybody, so I'm going to run through you, and I'm going to continue my domination. Fine. Excellent couple of bit of promos there. Got to where we needed to be.
Jey Uso, but whatever. Let's just ignore that.
Well, yeah. Again, it's like Shinsuke with his very fucking forgetful memory that he has.
I'm killing everyone. It's like, Shinsuke, dude, you're headlining, but you're not doing anything.
You got hit in the balls by a cowbell. Just shut your fucking mouth. We then went to Truth, Miz, and DIY, who were against all members of the Judgment Day, which does not happen very often. So I was quite happy to see that. Again, I've not got many notes, but I quite enjoyed this match. I thought it was slow to start. I think it was a very, very slow start. It was kind of like we were in first gear for a long time, and it was like, right, come on. Like, screaming for a gear change, and then bang, we hit that next gear. I think it was when Ciampa came in. That's when the match just suddenly started, and then it was like, right, okay, now we're hitting things. I appreciated they all did the suck it at one point as well. That was a big fan of that.
Just bringing DX into it, just because of that.
Don't know why. Oh, because Truth. Yeah. Truth made it, didn't he? Yeah, and he put. Did he have that in his little Truth line thing as well? Yeah. I got some new friends. I got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Like, and it goes back to them and has like the little things on there. I thought, that actually makes sense actually. So now I kind of understand it a little bit. So yeah, that again, I enjoyed that. And then, like I said, Ciampa kind of came in. It kind of picked up a bit, but everyone just wanted Truth. Again, I forgot to kind of mention that at the end of that Truth line segment, when they went into, I think it was Gable's that went first, you could hear the crowd going fucking nuts, just chanting for Truth. Like, Truth. Like, they are so fucking in on Truth. It's unreal. Like, and I've got so much time for it. I'm fine with that completely. But yeah, they're just waiting for Truth to come in. And then Truth tags in, starts doing Cena's moves again. And I think Cole actually quoted by saying, by his not his idol, what word? His inspiration or something along those lines. Yeah, his inspiration, John Cena.
Was it not idol?
I can't remember the word he used, but it was that, sort of word of just his idol, my inspiration, or his hero, or, what I mean? Something along those lines. Fucking hilarious. Like, it's the paying homage, isn't it? I think that's the terminology they use. But yeah, brilliant, fine. Again, Truth was just fucking.
Do you not think he absolutely nails Cena's moves as well? Like, he just smashes them.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon I could nail Cena's moves because there's not a lot to them. I just have to jump at someone like this, and then pick them up and put them on the floor.
You're the worst.
And then do this. Nailed it, mate.
You've actually got a quarter of it down then.
I am John Cena. Oh, hello, John Cena. Do you know what? I know we're going on a tangent now. I was sifting through, social media as you do with these videos. And there was one particular video I came across, which was Santino Marella pronouncing everybody's name wrong. And all it was just a clip, just clip after clip after clip of him just saying people's names incorrectly. And he's like, John Cena. It's like,
I'm John Cena.
Like, I can't even fucking think of all the other ones. Like, there must have been a good 20 to 30. And I was like, Santino was a fucking treasure, man. Like, he was that good. Of just, again, a comedy character just done right.
Nailed it, yeah.
Yeah.
First person to beat Umaga as well.
Fucking nuts, really, isn't it, when you think of the reality of it? Of how Santino's character ended up. To give him that sort of statement win is pretty fucking nuts.
Well, remember, he was picked out from the crowd as a member of the audience.
Yeah.
It was Umaga was Vince's champion at the time. Not his like world champ, but I mean he's like enforcer. And he was it someone like Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin maybe?
I think Shelton. Shelton seems to ring a bell. I think you might be right with Shelton.
And yeah, he picked and he goes, well, why don't you come out here and you show what you can do? And then Shelton Benjamin just helped him win. Just won the match for him basically.
Fucking brilliant. But yeah, Truth had a lot of, I think there was a couple of near falls. Truth was pretty like dominant in it. So the crowd is more and more behind. It really, really worked. And then it was concluded by Priest pinning Truth with South of Heaven. I do like the South of Heaven finisher. I really like that.
It's not good for his Stone Cold talks about doing the stunner.
Yeah.
And landing on your ass like that, it's not great for you.
Yeah. It's just it's a tweak of a choke slam. And I think it's just a nice move and it looks effective.
Batista's powerbomb was just the last ride. The last ride was just a powerbomb, but he lifted him up before he put him down. Yeah. Batista's was just a powerbomb, but he sat down on his ass as he did it, and he did it between the legs.
Yeah. So again, it's just those little variations in it. There's not a lot different. Just like Kevin Owens' puppet powerbomb. All he does is just has him off the rope and then just goes boom, boom. Like still effective. Again, powerbomb's another one. I fucking love a powerbomb because I just think
everyone loves a powerbomb.
It's just one of those where it's one of those moves where you think actually that probably does kind of hurt a little bit. Like if you're getting fucking hoisted in the air from someone who's 6 foot ridiculous and being slammed to the floor, yeah, you're gonna be a bit winded.
Look dangerous.
Well,
I don't know if it's just the size of him or just the slam that he does, but it looks harmful.
That's just Gunther to a fucking T, isn't it? Really. But yeah. Again, I put this down as a really, really good match. Again, I thought it was, like I said, slow to start with, but as soon as it kicked into that next gear, I just thought it was good all round. Again, it was the storytelling side of it, and essentially it was just about R-Truth, and the fans were in on it, and the fans were behind everything that was going on, which added to it, because they cared, and they were cheering for the near fan, they were wanting this, and they were wanting that, because they were working with it. I think it always will elevate a match when you got the crowd involved in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we then had a backstage segment with Sami, which, again, was kind of just more of the same, really, with Sami. I love Sami Zayn.
Everyone loves Sami Zayn.
I just want them to do something with him now, because I feel like he's now getting repetitive. It's the same thing where he kind of says, I need to stop this obsession with Drew. Where was this obsession with Drew? Like, you had a couple of matches or whatever, but I wouldn't quite call it an obsession with Drew. You know what I mean? But that's what he said. And he basically said, I need to focus on WrestleMania. He's like, I don't know what my path's going to be there, but I know there'll be a path and I'll take it. And I just sat there going, please not Shinsuke, please not Shinsuke, please not Shinsuke. And, well, as we revealed later on, Shinsuke and Sami Zayn is going to continue. Again, I might as well carry this on now, where they're going to have another match because Shinsuke has decided that. And I put in brackets, Raw's Karrion Kross. I don't care what Shinsuke Nakamura has to provide. And I feel so sad for saying it because I like Shinsuke. He's good at what he does. His promos are better now that they're actually letting him speak.
Yeah.
But he's just coming out with utter fucking stupid nonsense. And I just, I'm not in on it. And I'd find myself really not caring what Shinsuke has to say.
It's just the same backward things like, I'm going to ruin your story like I ruined Cody's. It's like, well, Cody's is there.
And you lost every time. You just spat some paint in his face. Like, you haven't done fucking diddly squat, mate.
Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier. He took a cowbell to the bollocks. Don't talk to me. But yeah, I just, that's just another thing that I don't want. I want Sami to get there. I want Sami to have something, because everyone is always forever rooting for Sami Zayn, because he's just that good. He's superb, and he deserves better. So it's kind of like they'll keep putting him down, so that lift works a lot more when it happens.
It's not like he's not proved it in recent weeks. Like that match against Seth Rollins was just phenomenal.
Mate, I don't think there's ever any doubt of how good technically Sami Zayn is. Like in ring, is incredible. Like it's because the fans want it so much for him to succeed, and WWE are kind of like, it's the carrot we're dangling, but we're not going to give it you yet. Like, you know, so when that moment happens, it will be, touch wood, it'll be a really good moment, and they don't just waste it on like the US title or something, which it's not the big deal that he deserves. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that was that. We then had the women's segment, which we've already covered. Obviously, that women's segment, we didn't actually mention that was concluded by Nia Jax coming out and squashing them all. So that was how that was concluded, that she just dominated everyone. Fair. I don't agree with it, but they're trying to make Nia look strong for Rhea, for Saturday. I get it.
She is strong. She's huge.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to show it, especially think about all the bumps that these women are taking week in, week out. How many knuckles to the face, how many proper stiff shots they're taking.
Yeah. And all the quite literal bumps from Nia Jax when she squashes them.
She squashed. Hate her.
Yeah. But yeah, I get why they did it. Again, I don't think it was needed. And we've covered that. We won't delve into that again. Here's your moment, my friend. We then had Ivar against Chad Gable. And do you know what, my friend? You take the lead on this. You tell me what happened in that match.
I don't crystal clear. I was the same as you. It was one of those matches for me where I was watching it and I just wasn't even thinking. I was like, this is awesome. I remember the ending. That was pretty much it. But how is it you can put Ivar with someone the size of Bronson Reed or the size of Chad Gable? I mean, a lot of the credit in this match goes to Chad Gable because of his strength is just insane. Oh. It is crazy. He is mini Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
but
1,000,000%.
Likeable mini Kurt Angle.
No, without a doubt. Like, Chad Gable is so... It's in fact, he's got actual professional wrestling background, and it's so obvious to tell because it's like his suplexes, like, what do you call it? Like, it's like a bridge suplex when you suplex him into a pin. It's just 280. It's perfect.
Well, that's what he got the win on, wasn't it, in this match? The bridge suplex. Was it not?
That was like a decoy. It was really good, actually. So, but yeah, again, I was the same for you for that match. I didn't even have notes. I was just engrossed. And to refer what I kind of touched upon earlier, the crowd made this feel more important because they cared and they got in on that. Whereas other places, other crowds, they'd have had no reaction, and it just wouldn't have been as effective as it was.
They have a problem, WWE, when there's nothing at stake and it's a shitty show. They're not going to care. Like, you're right. I think if it was a bad start to the show or a bad life, it was like last week's Raw or the week before, the one when it wasn't that good, just slow. I think it was 2 weeks, the week before, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it was when The Rock announced that he was joining Bloodline. The rest of it was just a bit... Yeah,
it was the stalling episode of Raw because they hadn't quite figured out what they were going to do about that whole situation. The one before the press conference.
Yeah, if that match was in there, then... I don't think it would have got a pop at all.
No one would have cared at all.
But it was so good, like from a wrestling standpoint, like a wrestling fan standpoint. I don't know how anyone could have watched that and be like, "That's not awesome." Yeah. The fact that Ivar can do that with someone Chad Gable. I know he's a strong guy, but he is small in his stature. You know, he's built and that, and obviously he can take care of himself in the ring because he is a professional wrestler. He was an ex-professional wrestler or an ex-wrestler background, whatever. But the fact that Ivar's that technically good to not kill someone doing some of the moves that he does, I think it's mint. I think it was just an awesome match. What was the win then? Tell me what was the win, because I can't remember.
So it was that he went into that bridging the suplex, bridging suplex into the pin. But it was almost like a decoy because I think he went for that like the other week or last time they like faced each other or something, and Ivar ended up beating him from it. Yeah. So he didn't get it. I mean, I've said he does a perfect one. But he had it so that when Ivar broke out, he went instantly into the ankle lock. So he was already prepared for him to kick out. So he didn't do it for that win. He did it to kind of have him there, false sense of security, and then he goes bang straight into the ankle lock. And he actually won with an ankle lock. someone tapping out to it. Now, I can't remember the last time someone won to an ankle lock. I mean, you have some submissions, but that sort of submission, how many times you have them crawl into the rope? Or they do a front roll, which then makes the person fly 10 yards or whatever. It's not often you get a win from that. And I think that was kind of the plan of doing that suplex into that to then go straight into the ankle lock was really effective.
I can't vouch for any of the NXT matches because I don't watch it every single week. But I imagine some point in recent past, he's won an NXT match by doing an ankle lock.
Yeah, must have done.
But because I know he does them all the time, and that's like a signature.
Yeah.
But the last time I can properly remember someone winning an ankle was Kurt Angle, and it was the one that stands out to mind for me was the 2 out of 3 falls. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit.
But to be fair, this is it. This is the other side of it. I mean, we won't, again, delve too far into this. But Chris Benoit had some fucking unbelievable matches. And they have to be completely disregarded because of his actions. Yeah. But that, again, like you said, is an absolute example of that. Of Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit having a superb match. And when that happened.
In those horrific, horrible final moments, he included some of his specials.
I've said this in previous podcasts where I know when you're taking this turn. I could just see it in your mannerisms. And I just have a grin on my face and I go, I know there's a joke coming here.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Did rumour has it he headbutted his family to death, didn't
he? No, he didn't. I think either you're making a joke or you're genuinely taking that, because I've said that in the past and I've tried to get you and Cheatham to believe it.
Yeah, I know. I only did that as a plug for yourself because I know that you're taking you have all credit on that joke. I thought you were going there, and then when you didn't, I thought I'm just gonna drop it in there because I know that's there to be said.
I thought the cripple crossface to his child was just out of line, out of bounds.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is the joy of Faz Wrestling. You get some dark humour. If you like it, great. If you don't,
Sorry.
But, yeah, going back full circle. Chad Gable won with an ankle lock after that tangent. Again, I think both agree. Fantastic. I think excellent. Again, I've put down an excellent match. Because I thought it was a really, really good match. Crowd into it. Good finish. Gable wins. Gets momentum. Hopefully, him and Ivar can kind of split now. That whole, his group, whose name I cannot fucking remember.
The
and Ivar.
Like Warriors, is it?
No, like Gable's fucking stable.
Oh, right. Woo!
Alpha Academy. There we go. Yeah. The Alpha Academy and Ivar can kind of split now. And they can kind of go down different paths because it's been going on a while. Let Gable win and let Gable build on momentum. Then went back to Drew McIntyre backstage. Again,
just a really quick one.
Go on.
Who the Japanese guy part of Alpha Academy?
Akira Tozawa.
Tozawa. Have you seen a picture of what he looked like beforehand?
I have not.
When he was wrestling for New Japan, he was huge.
Really? What, as in like built huge?
No,
fat huge.
Fat.
Really?
Yeah. Which is weird because then you come across that promo and he's doing this, and they go, "You're doing really well." He's like, I think he's a great character personally. I think he's never going to be up there, but he's a great character.
Yeah, I agree. Again, just that comedy character-esque.
Yeah,
it works. He's exactly where he needs to be. He's lower card and bit of comedy, all that. Absolutely fine. Got no qualms with that whatsoever. But yeah, we had Drew backstage. I've just put excellent promo again because that's what you get with Drew McIntyre. Just fantastic promos. He then pointed out that he is the second person to have beaten Cody Rhodes since he came back, which I thought was rather interesting. Not Brock Lesnar. He didn't lose to Lesnar.
No, he didn't. He did on a Raw, 100%.
Well, according to this, he's the second person to beat Cody. That's what he said. And obviously, the only other person is Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So I don't think he lost to Lesnar. Unless, of course, Drew McIntyre's chatting out of his ass. Oh, no. Yeah, that's why. Because Brock Lesnar has been removed from the existence of everything on the planet in WWE, aren't they? So that's why they've not mentioned it with it being Brock. So, again, yeah, probably that. But again, this is where I kind of said it earlier, where you could see like his face expressions regarding the bloodline. He then addresses it in this promo where he then says, obviously I wanted to go after them. They stole away my biggest moment, you know, and all this. But that's the old Drew McIntyre. He's like, I've got beef for them, and I will sort that another day. But I had to focus on the here and now and what I'm here to accomplish. And it's Cody Rhodes. I need to beat Cody Rhodes. So bang, focus. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, absolutely fantastic from there. I don't know if you want anything else to add to that.
No.
Anything else that springs to mind?
A great heel.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic from Drew. But then cut to New Day, put in a little promo, which I liked. I liked this. It was kind of like backstage, and they were very intense, I think was the word. Yeah. It wasn't a case of we're joking around with this, that, and the other. No. Even though they addressed that, it was very much like, now we've had all this beef, we've fought here, we've done this, we've done that. Nothing's resolved, nothing's concluded. Like, New Day are the best tag team in existence of the planet. They're like, what are they, like 15-time tags or some tag champs or something nuts like that. They kind of delivered that one out there, and it was like, we need to settle this once and for all, to then confirm that it was going to be them against Imperium next week in a street fight, which is going to deliver. It's going to bang, innit? It's going to be a good match. Yeah. We then went to the main event. Here we are, mate. We have whizzed through Raw, and here we are to the main event, which was, ironically, Main Event Jey Uso versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Again, do you want to give us a run through? Give us your opinion on this?
He was robbed. To quote Michael Cole, he was robbed. And I don't think I can fairly discuss the match without first saying what happened at the end of the match. So I don't know if you...
Go. No, you go. You take it away, mate.
So Jimmy was going to win. Jimmy had him pinned. Jimmy was going to win.
Who was going to win?
Jay, sorry. I thought, honestly, you were...
Spoiler alert.
I honestly thought Jay was going to win. I thought you were saying then who was going to win. Like, Gunther was actually going to turn it around because he was the biggest fucking fangirl in the world. Actually, Pete, I think you're fine. Gunther could have kicked out of that. Gunther was done. 4 spears, one on the outside of the apron. Magical. It was just proving again and again that Jey Uso is Main Event Jey Uso. He had him pinned. He finally ended with the Uso splash, which was immense. I think he did 2 in that match, and there was the thing. It was the first one. The height he got on it, he goes flying, man.
Yeah.
You hear ding 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 ding. So everyone's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then they turn around, and over at the bell is this random in a black hoodie. Just a random guy. And you're like, who is this random guy? Michael Cole. Who is this random person in a black hoodie screwing with Jay? Oh, fucking Jimmy, weren't it?
Only fucking Jimmy Uso.
It's just a shame. It was a great match. It was 10 out of 10 as a match. It was really good. There's times when I thought Gunther was going to retain. Like, not even like in those bits where I think he power bombed him at one point, and I was like, oh, he's done. He's done. Because he makes it look, because Jay, I don't know how Jay does this thing where he makes it look like he's completely flat out.
Yeah. And
it sells when it's Jay. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just like him. But it completely sells like, but yeah, please, you carry on before I cry.
No, honestly, mate, completely agree. Like, was all that. Obviously Jimmy intervening, and you was kind of like, I mean, to be fair, the real confession was that Pete rang me on Tuesday morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, Faz, he was robbed. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, he was robbed. I went, are you talking about Raw? He goes, yeah. And I was like, Pete, I've not watched it. Why? Why have you not watched it? I was like, it's Tuesday morning. I'm in work. It finished about 5 hours ago. When on earth have I had chance to watch this?
I work in education, right? So this week's been my half term. So I was up at after clock with the dog anyway, and I thought, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I usually go back to bed. I'm gonna watch Raw. And I thought, I don't know why I had it in my head. I thought, Faz will have watched it by now. It's been 5 hours since it finished. Faz will definitely have watched it. Forgetting that you also have a normal 9-to-5 job.
And this is it. So I'm like, I haven't watched it. And he went, oh. I was like, don't give me any spoilers. He went, oh, okay. I don't think he was robbed. I went, You're talking about Jey Uso, aren't you? In fact, no, I think you might have dropped in there. Faz, you were right. You were right. He was robbed. Because I said about this potentially happening last week, and that's setting up for the Jimmy and Jey feud at WrestleMania. So after that, I went, right, okay. So I knew how this match ended by 8 o'clock in the morning. It's all right. I mean, it was one of those. I didn't mind because, again, I still watched the entirety of the match and still enjoyed every aspect of it because it was another, again, I would say a 10 out of 10 match. I thought it was excellent. Again, like you said, the 4 spears that he did all around the ring, hits that splash. And I'm like, I know he doesn't win, but I was like, it's good enough to win. For Gunther's, for the caliber that Gunther has built himself up to,
it was fair.
That's what you have to do to beat him. You have to hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him until he's down. Like, it's what Gunther does a lot well in his matches, where he can do these back and forth, does the odd move. But in the minute he's like, right, backs against the ropes here, I need to fucking win this. And he pulls out like his clotheslines. I think he does like the big boot. And then he'll do, obviously, his finisher to win. So I think like he then pulls out these moves, all one after the other, to then end them, and it's like, right, that's it, that's game. I've squashed you, sort of thing. Squashed you. But that's
as well.
You what? Sorry.
The slaps, the ooh, you.
Oh yeah, Again, because touched upon that earlier. I had a couple of moments like that, I think, in the match where it was that crowd participation that just brilliant. Love it. But yeah, Jey then the important to kind of touch upon here that obviously Jimmy rang the bell, caused that distraction, and then Jay's kind of staring at him. Jey then does a splash out of the ring onto Jimmy and the personnel that are with him escorting him out. But the important thing was that Jey then goes to the turnbuckle to hit him with a splash. So you're like, oh, maybe he's not lost it. But Gunther had his knees up and won by a roll-up. So like I'm saying there with Gunther, he would hit those big moves to win and absolutely flatten an opponent. He couldn't do that with Jey. He had to win by an act of desperation. Like, Gunther doesn't win matches by roll-up. He fucking punishes them, then he pins them. In that story, I feel, which is where I'm hoping they will potentially pick this back up later down the road, is that Gunther didn't beat him convincingly. Gunther was beat. Yeah. Gunther lost that match. If it were, it's the visual pin sort of thing. This is
incredible to hear from you, Kieran. It really is.
No, but it is. But it's putting over Jey Uso. This is making Jey Uso look good, and he completely deserves that because, well, we've already mentioned it earlier on of how good he is, how much the crowd are with him, how his theme tune bangs, everyone loves it. His in-ring, there's never been any doubt about that. He's always been solid in there, but they're really elevating him, and I think him. Like that, like I've literally put down that Gunther barely survives. Like, that's literally how that match was won. Because apart from that, Jey could well have won it, and I think that is absolute props to the two men in there, and obviously how they've built the match and creative and stuff like that to make it look that way. Like, even if Gunther had done those moves on Jey, it would have been a squash. But it wasn't. It was barely getting away with that win. It was so effective and really elevates Jey. The downfall is that it's then going to be Jimmy and Jey at WrestleMania, whereas we spoke a couple of weeks ago about Jey winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania from Gunther. That would have been superb, but clearly they're not going down that route.
He's not Gunther won't give him a second chance. Gunther won't give him a second chance at the IC after nearly getting beat by him.
Yeah, it'll be even more reluctant to have that match because he'll know that he gave me a fucking match here. So Jimmy then attacks Jey after the match, and he kind of, when they're talking smack to them, you could pick up with him saying that no matter how big you get, I'm always the big brother. Basically saying no matter what you fucking do, I'm still big brother, so I'm still going to fucking put you down a peg and this, that, and the other. Fine. Am I happy with it? No. Will I accept it at WrestleMania? Yes. Because I think it will. I think it still will be a good match. Sorry, wait for the. That was me doing your table lifting up in the air. So we can acknowledge the ones, Acknowledge me. No. But yeah, Jimmy kind of does a few like splashes on Jey, mocks his little arm thing that he does, like standard heel heat, and that closes out the show. And that was our Raw. So I'll start with you, my friend.
Did that close out the show? Because I thought Cody came down.
No, that was afterwards.
After the show?
After Cody comes out and CM Punk comes out. That was, the cameras have finished and those two come out. Again, if you've made it this far and you're watching this and you haven't seen that little extra bit, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Just the reaction, the pop and stuff like that. Nice little segment for the crowd.
I thought it was weird because it was like Jey was still cradled in the corner, like after losing, and he was just sat against the corner of the ropes, and they were both just popping off. Like CM Punk got a massive pop, and it's like,
oh, did he?
Come on, feel sorry for Jey.
He's just like, my IC title match, my brother. But yeah, I'll start with you, bud. Out of 10, what would you rate that Raw?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. 8, maybe 8 to 8.5, mainly for the Nia Jax was in it, so I can't top score it.
Will you leave her alone? She's just trying her best. Yeah. I just and that women's bit did not, apart from Becky, it was just like no one had anything to say on the mic. No one had anything of interest. So it's I'd say Liv Morgan as well. I'd put Liv Morgan into there.
And obviously, and Bianca, but I mean, the whole thing was just scrappy. The whole thing in itself was just a scrappy promo. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was good. Yeah,
I literally, I agree with you on just about everything from that. I literally had 8.5 in my head. Like, I was like, that good. And again, it was the odd segment here and there, which, like I said, the inclusion of all the TKO stuff, I was a bit like, eh. Like the women's stuff, like that bit, I was a bit like, man, like, you know, there's little bits here and there that, I mean, I'm excited for that Raw where we both say this is a 10 out of 10 Raw because that is going to be an unbelievable Raw. But again, no fucking catch on that. I thought this was a really, really good episode. Again, it was helped by the fact that it was good quality. I think it was the Women's Rumble as well that kind of put it down a little bit because it did what it needed to do, but I was a bit like, yeah. But yeah, really good Raw, really good solid matches. Again, everything kind of developed things. It was there was a reason for things happening. Nothing happened where you kind of went, well, that was pointless. Well, apart from Sami and Shinsuke, but here we are.
It's still all because the road to WrestleMania. That's the main point of it. It's good. Everything added to that. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that wraps up Raw. That wraps us for tonight. As per usual, if you have made it this far and you are watching, give us a like. Give us a share, give us a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're getting to it. Don't worry. I'm just doing my plug. I'm just plugging. That's all I'm doing. So we're literally, if you can, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff, just to try and get us a bit more out there. That would be phenomenal. So Pete, before we sign off, have you got any final thoughts for us?
Well, my final thought was originally my first thought.
I told you. I said that.
You called it. I'd literally figured it out. But instead, here's a better one. Kieran, do you know why in Germany escaping jail is legal?
No, I don't know.
So basically, if you get found, you get thrown back in jail, but you don't get any prison time added. But it's because the law considers freedom to be a basic human act. Boom. Truth drop.
I must admit, Pete's final thoughts is becoming probably my favourite segment of the show. I am a big fan of that.
So most of the time it's wrestling, but today wasn't.
No. I'm fine with it not. Like, I'm all right with that as well. That absolutely fucking bangs for me. So I'm absolutely fine with that also. But yes, thank you for joining us, guys. Like I said, do all that good stuff. And we will be back to do our prediction show. And don't forget that we will be going live on Saturday morning for Elimination Chamber. It would be great to have some people along just to fucking bounce off some questions and all that good stuff. And it should be a good laugh. But yeah, we shall see you in the next one. So adios and peace out, amigos.
Wrestling.